Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Ham here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about another one of our weapon reviews. Before this video starts, I would love to say thank you guys for all of the amazing support you've given us over the past few months. It's absolutely unimaginable how much support you guys have given us on this year where Call of Duty is really not that grand and the player base is not staying around as long as we'd hoped for. But even through all the people leaving Call of Duty and maybe switching to other games and all that, you guys still always ask in our streams what we think about certain things and aspects of this game, whether that be our thoughts and opinions on game modes, or our opinions on weapons and how we like to use them. So today we're going to be reviewing the MP40 for you guys. So what is the MP40? Well, it was the standard issue submachine gun issued to the German military during World War II. It was introduced into production during 1940. It is a machine gun or submachine gun that shoots a 9mm cartridge of a 32 round magazine. It was known for a lower rate of fire that was very easy to control. So how does that translate over into Call of Duty World War II? Well, in this game, the MP40 is a middle-of-the-pack, I'd say, submachine gun. It doesn't have the fastest fire rate, but also does not have the lowest fire rate. And the recoil is very controllable. Not the highest, but not the lowest, and not as easy to manage as some of the other submachine guns that we'll get to later on in this video. Now, the submachine gun, since the launch of Call of Duty World War II, has had a very up and down life cycle. It's changed a lot from patch to patch, and I'm glad I held off on this weapon review. I knew at the beginning of the game it was not as competitive as it probably will be, so I knew they'd probably come out with a buff later on. Now this gun, in one of the recent updates, has had a buff. It had a significant recoil reduction. That was one of the big downsides to the MP40 was its recoil. It was not very controllable and very unpredictable. But most people did not know, along with this buff, it also had a secret nerf. Now, the update before the recent patch that buffed the MP40, they substantially increased the rate of fire to where it would be in comparison to the PPSH, which is by far the king submachine gun of this game. So along with the recoil reduction, they also reduced the rate of fire back to what it was at the launch of this game. So now the rate of fire with rapid fire is almost exactly the same as the base variant PPSH. So without rapid fire, it's a medium rate of fire submachine gun. Alright, now for attachments and why I'd use them. If you typically play core with this submachine gun, it's not as capable as some of the other submachine guns. So there's really only 2 attachments that I would use on this weapon. I mean, I really wouldn't use anything else. You may be able to switch some things out here or there for preferences. But since they reduced the recoil, I'm not going to recommend using the grip on this gun. You can, it makes it easier to use, but it's not that uncontrollable without grip. So 2 must-have attachments that I recommend on this weapon, as you'll see in most of the gameplay that is core, is rapid fire and extended mags. Now why I use these 2 attachments is, as I've already mentioned, the rate of fire is a little lower than some of the other submachine guns. So to make it as competitive as possible with any other gun you're going to go toe-to-toe with in this game, I'd recommend rapid fire. It just helps out with that time to kill. It makes it a nice gun. Another attachment would be the extended mags. Extended mags is just an all-around great attachment on any gun in this game. Most of the time the kills are extremely slow with most of the submachine guns in this game. Just all around, most of the guns have a slow time to kill, so you're going to have to expend a substantial amount of bullets to kill people. So having extended mags and just more bullets to work with is never a bad thing. Now, if you don't like the iron sights, which are understandable because the back of this gun has a very large bulge on it, so it makes it hard to see over, you can use the reflex sight I mean, it's doable if you want to get rid of extended mags. You could also get rid of extended mags for quick draw if you need some assistance getting your sights up as fast as possible. Or grip. Any of those attachments would work, but I'd probably stick to the extended mags and rapid fire are probably your two best attachments for this gun. Now for division, I'd probably only use this submachine gun on the airborne division. Just an all-around great division for submachine guns. Keep you as nimble as possible on the move. If you're playing any sort of game mode at all, it's just great to get around the map. You can also use your suppressor, which is not a bad option for the MP40. I don't know if I'd use it or not. What else do we have here? We have the basic training. We typically only really use hustle on submachine gun classes just because you're already probably going to be very mobile and in people's faces and run a gun. So it's always nice to have that hustle just to reload your guns as fast as possible. Keeps you in the action. Just helps you with not dying when you're reloading. For equipment, I'd really only use a sticky grenade. It's the best grenade in the game. And this pistols, really, that's up to your preference. Any pistol. I know the machine pistol got a little nerf, so it's not as great as it used to be, but we typically use the 9mm sap. Now, as how this weapon performs in this game, the rate of fire is kind of slow. The recoil's predictable. One of the only upsides this gun has to the PPSH is at a very, very, very close range, like melee range, it's possible to get a 3-hit kill. So if you're in their face, this gun will outshoot the PPSH, which is a cool upside that most people don't know about this gun. It's one of the few submachine guns that can get a 3-hit kill at super close range. This and the Grease Gun are the only two. Now, if you've noticed in the background, which you probably have, most of this gameplay is hardcore. I think after this update with the recoil reduction, this gun is a decent option for hardcore. I wouldn't use the suppressor on it hardcore, as you see in this clip here. It makes it kind of always a 2-hit kill. But it has a distinct advantage that most guns don't have in hardcore, or at least some machine guns. It has a potential for a decent long range, not a grand, but a decent one-shot kill range. So it's a faster, right now with the recoil reduction, it's comparable to the Type 100 that has a faster rate of fire. It has about the same one-shot kill range, but a little less consistent because the recoil is a little more. But it's one of the only submachine guns in this game that actually gets a benefit from having the advanced rifling on it. Most submachine guns in this game, if you put the advanced rifling, it has no advantage whatsoever. So, as you can see, most of my gameplay is in hardcore. I do typically use this gun more in hardcore than I do core. So, as for what I'd recommend in hardcore, I would run the advanced rifling. As I said, it helps extend that one-shot kill range out to a little bit more. And I have two attachments I use as my second option. I will either go with the extended mags, since after the most recent, one of the recent updates, they decreased the sprint out time that it takes, so you can draw your gun faster from sprint. So quick draw is not as needed anymore. So I will use that extended mag, so you can just go on pretty decent feeds with this gun. It typically will mostly be 2-shot kills at range, but up close, it can get some pretty nasty 1-shot kills. I mean, if you don't really need or feel like you use the extended mag too much, I would probably go with quick draw. Great option. For division, if you're playing hardcore KC, I would run airborne. But if you were playing TDM or domination, I'd probably stick with mountain. It's just an all-around great hardcore division. As for pistols, again, I'd probably use the 9mm sap. Seems to be the all-around best pistol in the game. Oh, and as for basic training, we always typically use hustle. If you're using airborne, you can throw on flanker, which will help you with staying off the radar. If you like to use airborne and be mobile, and it will also save you from those pesky bouncing betties that people love to throw down nowadays. So I hope I helped you guys understand what the MP40 is and what it's good and not so good at. and Call of Duty World War II. Now this gun's not as good as it used to be in some of the older games like World at War. Oh, the MP40 used to be. If you know what I'm talking about, type a 1 in the chat if you made this far in the video. If you love the World at War MP40 or remember how good it was. But anyway, guys, I hope I helped you. I hope you're better with the MP40 now and find some attachments you love to use on it. And as always, if you guys are new and have not already, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button or throw up a like on the video. Helps us out greatly. And also don't be afraid to hit that notification bell so you know when our great content comes out to you at the first chance. So guys, this is your boy Hamii out, and as always, thank you guys for watching.